Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Miss Dina English. I'm Dina, and I'm so happy you decided to spend a little time with us today.
And I'm Tom. Whether you're listening while you're relaxing at home, driving to work, taking a walk, or enjoying a cup of coffee, thank you for joining us.
Today, we have a topic that is simple, practical, and incredibly useful for everyday English conversations.
We're going to talk about one question that almost everyone hears every Monday morning. How was your weekend?
It sounds like an easy question, but many English learners don't know how to answer naturally.
Some people only say it was good or it was fine, and then the conversation suddenly stops.
Today, we'll learn how to keep that conversation going in a relaxed and natural way.
Our English is designed for B1 to B2 learners, so you'll hear realistic conversations with useful vocabulary and expressions.
As always, don't worry if you don't understand every single word.
Just listen carefully and enjoy the conversation. The more English you hear, the more natural it becomes.
Before we begin, here's a question for you to think about while you listen.
What was the best part of your last weekend?
Maybe it was something exciting.
Or maybe it was something very simple, like sleeping late or spending time with family.
There are no right or wrong answers. Every weekend is different.
And that's exactly why this topic is so useful. Everyone has something they can talk about.
Tom, let me ask you something.
Go ahead.
When someone asks, "How was your weekend?" do you think they're asking for a detailed report?
Not usually. Most of the time, they're simply trying to start a friendly conversation.
Exactly. Many learners think they need an interesting story every time.
But that's not true at all. Even an ordinary weekend can become a nice conversation.
In English-speaking cultures, questions like, "How was your weekend?" are often used as small talk.
Small talk means light, friendly conversation that helps people connect before talking about work or more serious topics.
Imagine you arrive at the office on Monday morning.
Your coworker smiles and says, "Morning, how was your weekend?"
They probably don't expect a 10-minute story.
They're simply showing friendliness and giving you a chance to chat.
That's why your answer doesn't have to be perfect.
It just needs to sound natural and invite the conversation to continue.
Let's hear a very common answer.
It was good.
Is that wrong?
No.
Is it enough?
Sometimes.
But usually it ends the conversation very quickly. Let's make it a little better.
Instead of saying, "It was good," you could say, "It was really relaxing. I stayed home, watched a couple of movies, and caught up on some sleep."
That sounds much more natural.
And now the other person has something to ask about.
They might ask, "What movies did you watch?"
Or they could say, "I needed more sleep too."
Suddenly, the conversation becomes easier.
That's the secret. Give people something they can respond to.
Let's imagine another situation.
Okay.
I ask you, "Tom, how was your weekend?"
I'd probably say it was pretty busy, actually. I helped my sister move into her new apartment, so most of Saturday was spent parrying boxes.
That's a nice answer because it gives several details.
Yes, but notice they're simple details.
You didn't tell a long story.
Just enough information to keep things interesting.
Then I could ask, "Was it a lot of work?"
And I'd answer, definitely. I was exhausted by the end of the day, but it felt good to help.
See how naturally that conversation develops?
That's much closer to real English than giving one-word answers.
Now let me answer the question.
Great. How was your weekend, Dina?
Mine was surprisingly quiet. I spent Saturday morning cleaning my apartment because I had been too busy during the week.
That's very relatable.
Then I made myself a nice lunch, read a few chapters of a novel, and later met a friend for coffee.
That sounds like a balanced weekend.
It really was. Nothing extraordinary happened, but I felt refreshed by Sunday evening.
I like that word, refreshed.
Yes, if you feel refreshed, you have more energy after resting.
That's a useful word for talking about weekends.
Another useful word is productive.
Right. Sometimes people don't relax during the weekend because they have many things to finish.
You might say, "It was a productive weekend. I organized my room, finished some paperwork, and prepared meals for the week."
Notice that productive doesn't necessarily mean exciting.
Exactly. It simply means you accomplished something important.
Here's another expression you'll hear often. I caught up on.
We were just talking about the expression I caught up on, and this is one you'll hear all the time in everyday English.
That's true. To catch up on means to do something that you didn't have enough time to do before.
For example, you can say, I caught up on my reading.
Or, I finally caught up on my favorite TV series.
You could even say, I caught up on housework.
That's probably one of the least exciting ways to spend a weekend.
Maybe, but it's very realistic.
Absolutely. Most weekends aren't full of adventure. They're usually a mix of relaxing, doing chores, meeting people, and preparing for the new week.
And that's exactly why you should feel comfortable talking about ordinary activities.
Let's imagine another conversation.
Okay, Tom, how was your weekend?
It was quite nice. On Saturday, I went grocery shopping in the morning, then I cooked dinner for my parents in the evening.
That sounds lovely. What did you cook?
I made homemade pasta. It wasn't perfect, but everyone enjoyed it.
See, that simple detail makes the conversation much more interesting.
Exactly. Instead of ending with, "It was nice," I added one specific activity.
That's something our listeners can remember.
One detail is often enough.
Many learners also worry because they think their weekend wasn't interesting enough.
But interesting conversations don't always come from exciting weekends.
They come from sharing small experiences in a friendly way.
Imagine someone says, "I spent the whole weekend doing laundry."
That may sound boring at first.
But then they continue, "While I was folding clothes, I listened to 3 interesting podcasts."
Suddenly, there's something to talk about.
Exactly. Or maybe someone says, "I stayed home because it rained all weekend."
Then the other person might answer, it rained here too.
That's how people connect.
They're not looking for amazing stories.
They're looking for common experiences.
Now, let's talk about different adjectives you can use when describing your weekend.
Instead of always saying good, you have many other choices.
You could say it was relaxing,
Busy,
productive,
peaceful,
fun,
quiet,
eventful,
memorable.
or even exhausting.
Let's hear them in real sentences. It was a relaxing weekend. I spent most of my time reading and listening to music.
It was a busy weekend. I had several family events to attend.
It was productive. I finished a project I've been working on.
It was peaceful. I stayed away from social media and enjoyed some quiet time.
It was exhausting because we moved into our new apartment.
These adjectives immediately tell the listener how you felt.
And feelings are an important part of conversations.
That's true. People often remember emotions more than facts.
Speaking of emotions, what kind of weekends do you enjoy most, Dina?
I think I enjoy balanced weekends.
What does that mean?
I like having one day where I get things done and another day where I can simply relax.
That sounds healthy.
If I spend the entire weekend working, Monday arrives too quickly.
I know that feeling.
But if I spend the whole weekend doing absolutely nothing, I sometimes feel guilty.
So you like a balance between productivity and rest.
Exactly.
I'm a little different.
Really?
I like weekends that include at least one outdoor activity.
Such as?
Going for a long walk, riding my bicycle, or visiting a park.
Does the weather change your plans?
Definitely. If it's sunny, I'll spend as much time outside as possible.
And if it rains?
Then it's the perfect excuse to stay inside with a good book and a hot drink.
That doesn't sound too bad either.
Not at all.
Another useful thing to remember is that people often ask follow-up questions.
Right. The conversation doesn't usually stop after your first answer.
For example, someone asks, "How was your weekend?"
You answer, "It was great. I went hiking."
Then they might ask, "Where did you go?"
Or, "Who did you go with?"
Maybe they'll ask, "Was it difficult?"
Or even, "Would you recommend that place?"
Notice how one simple activity creates several natural questions.
That's why adding 1 or 2 details is so helpful.
Let's practice another conversation.
Sounds good.
Tom, how was your weekend?
Pretty relaxing. I didn't have any big plans, so I stayed home most of the time.
That sounds nice. Did you do anything special?
Not really, but I finally organized my bookshelf, watched a documentary, and tried a new recipe.
Oh, what recipe did you try?
I made vegetable curry for the first time.
How did it turn out?
Better than I expected, actually.
See how naturally that conversation continues?
And none of those activities are unusual.
They're normal weekend activities that many people can relate to.
That's one reason this question appears so often in workplaces, classrooms, and even casual meetings.
It helps people start talking without discussing anything too personal.
Exactly. It's friendly, simple, and easy for almost everyone to answer.
But sometimes weekends don't go as planned.
That's true. Not every weekend is relaxing or enjoyable.
Sometimes you're sick.
Sometimes you have too much work.
Sometimes unexpected things happen.
And that's completely normal.
That's right. If someone asks, "How was your weekend?" you don't have to pretend everything was amazing.
Honest answers often lead to better conversations.
For example, you could say, "It wasn't the best, actually. I caught a cold, so I spent most of the weekend resting."
That's a completely natural answer.
Or you could say, "It was busier than I expected because I had a deadline for work."
Notice that these answers are honest without sounding negative,
Exactly. You're simply sharing your experience.
and the other person will probably respond with understanding.
They might say, "I hope you're feeling better."
Or, that sounds stressful.
That's how conversations help people connect.
Before we finish today's episode, let's review some useful expressions we used.
The first one is catch up on.
It means to spend time doing something that you didn't have time to do earlier.
Example, I caught up on my reading during the weekend.
Next is productive.
Productive means you completed useful or important tasks.
You could say, it was a productive weekend because I cleaned the house and finished my project.
Another useful adjective is relaxing.
A relaxing weekend helps you feel calm and rested.
Example, we stayed at home, watched movies, and had a relaxing weekend.
We also use the word exhausting.
Exhausting means something made you feel very tired.
Moving to a new apartment was exhausting, but I'm happy it's finished.
Another useful expression is nothing special.
Many native speakers use this phrase.
If someone asks about your weekend, you can say, "Nothing special, I just stayed home and relaxed."
That sounds much more natural than saying only nothing.
We also heard the phrase turn out.
If something turns out well, the final result is better than expected.
For example, the new recipe turned out really well.
One more expression is looking forward to.
We didn't use it much today, but it's perfect when talking about next weekend.
You could say, I'm looking forward to next weekend because my cousins are visiting.
Now let's practice one complete conversation that brings everything together.
Great idea.
Hi, Tom. How is your weekend?
It was really nice, thanks. I spent Saturday visiting my grandparents, and on Sunday I caught up on a few things around the house.
That sounds like a good balance. Did you enjoy seeing your grandparents?
I did. We had lunch together, talked for hours, and my grandmother made my favorite dessert.
That sounds wonderful. What about you? How was your weekend?
Mine was pretty quiet. I finished reading a book I'd been enjoying, went for a long walk on Sunday morning, and prepared my lessons for the week.
Sounds productive and relaxing at the same time.
That's exactly how I would describe it. See how easy that conversation feels?
Yes, nobody used difficult grammar.
Nobody tried to tell an incredible story.
They simply shared real experiences.
That's the kind of English people use every day.
And the more you practice talking about your own life, the easier speaking English becomes.
You don't need perfect weekends.
You don't need exciting adventures every Saturday.
Your ordinary life is already full of useful English.
Before we finish, here's a small speaking challenge.
We'd love for you to try it.
Imagine someone asks you, "How was your weekend?"
Answer using 3 sentences.
In the first sentence, describe your weekend with one adjective.
In the second sentence, mention one activity you did.
And in the third sentence, explain how you felt by Sunday evening.
For example, my weekend was relaxing. I visited my family and watched a great movie.
By Sunday night, I felt refreshed and ready for the new week.
That's all it takes.
Simple, natural, and easy to remember.
If you'd like more practice, write your answer in the comments.
You could write, I'm your name, from your country, and my weekend was...
It's a great way to practice writing and speaking at the same time.
And it's always interesting to see how people spend their weekends in different parts of the world.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
We hope this conversation helps you feel more confident the next time someone asks, "How was your weekend?"
Remember, natural English isn't about using difficult words.
It's about communicating clearly, comfortably, and confidently.
Keep listening, keep practicing, and most importantly, keep enjoying your English journey.
We'll see you in the next episode of Miss Dina English. Until then, take care and have a wonderful week.